All right, so we're diving deep today into some ancient Babylonian wisdom. We're going to try and figure out just how much financial success, boils down to luck.
Luck.
Yeah, and get this, our source material, it dives straight into this story about people expecting a lucky camel hoof ritual.
Wow.
I kid you not. It's like they just thought wealth just magically appeared.
It's amazing, isn't it, how that desire for a quick fix, it still resonates today, even after thousands of years.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Totally. So in this story, right, there's this guy who's all in on those goddesses of good luck. He's practically just sitting around waiting for them to, shower him with riches.
Uh-huh.
He's ignoring his work, any chances that come his way.
Right.
What's interesting, though, is how this ties into Archon's advice.
Yeah.
The wealthy Babylonian from our source, he's like, hold on. True luck isn't about chanting or rituals. It's about recognizing opportunity.
Yeah.
When it knocks.
That's a great point. And it really highlights a timeless principle, Passively waiting for luck is a surefire way to fail. But if you're prepared and you seize those opportunities when they rise, that's where the real magic happens.
So think about your own goals, right? Whatever you're working towards, are you actively going after them? Or are you just kind of hoping for that lucky break? We all do it sometimes. But Archon's perspective in our source material is really interesting. He's basically saying true luck, it's the result of hard work, planning, sound financial principles.
It's like that saying, right? Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity.
Ooh, I like that.
And the source material gives some specific examples of this. Like if you're diligently saving, that allows you to invest when a great opportunity presents itself.
Right. You have the means to jump on it.
Exactly. Or let's say you're constantly learning about finances. That knowledge helps you distinguish a good investment from a bad one. So when that potential opportunity comes along, you're not just throwing money at it blindly.
You're prepared. You can make a smart decision.
Absolutely. And that's a key part of what Arcad calls self-intervention.
Self-intervention.
Yeah, he believes that, proactively seeking knowledge and making calculated risks, that's how you create your own luck.
So it's not just about being ready. It's about actually seeking out those opportunities.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Interesting.
It's a more proactive approach.
I see.
You're not just waiting for something good to happen. You're making it happen.
So, for example, if you're trying to grow your wealth, right? Arcad would say, don't just wait for some hot stock tip to fall in your lap.
No, you got to go out there and study the markets, understand how businesses work.
Right.
And then make informed decisions.
Okay, so instead of relying on a lucky camel hoof, you're building your own financial radar.
I like that.
Constantly scanning for those golden opportunities.
That's a great analogy.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But wouldn't some people say there's still a degree of luck involved?
Sure.
I mean, the perfect opportunity, it could just appear at the right time.
Right.
Even if you weren't, actively looking for it.
That's true. There's definitely an element of chance in life. Yeah. But I think Arcad would argue that even when a seemingly random opportunity comes along, your ability to see it and to seize it comes down to preparation.
Sure.
It's like having the financial equivalent of a spider sense that tingles when the perfect moment arrives.
Ooh, that's cool.
But you have to develop that sense through knowledge and experience.
Okay, I see what you mean. It's you can't control when those opportunities pop up.
Right.
But you can control, whether you're ready.
Exactly.
To grab them when they do. So for our listener, what does it actually look like to develop that financial spider sense?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
How do you become the kind of person who spots those golden opportunities when other people might miss them?
Well, luckily for us, Arcad gives us a framework for that in our source material. He lays out 7 cures for a lean purse.
Okay.
And these cures offer a really practical roadmap for building that financial spider sense.
7 cures.
And it's based on ancient wisdom, but it's surprisingly relevant even today.
That's super intriguing. So these cures, they're more like practical steps that anyone can take to improve their money situation.
Absolutely.
Regardless of how lucky they feel.
It's not about luck. Yeah. It's about taking action.
Okay.
And these cures provide a roadmap for creating your own luck, step by step.
Cool.
But before we dive into each specific cure, let's take a closer look at this whole idea of self-intervention.
Okay.
Why Arcad believed it was so crucial for success.
This is where it gets really interesting because from what I'm gathering from our source, this self-intervention thing, it's not just about like managing money.
No.
It's about like managing your mindset.
Exactly.
You ready to explore that?
Absolutely. I think that's where the real power lies. Yeah, totally. You got self-intervention. It's all about taking control, right? Not just of your money, but like your financial destiny. It's being proactive. Shifting from, I hope I get lucky, to, I am going to create my own luck.
Okay, I am really intrigued by this whole idea of creating luck.
Yeah.
So how do we do that? Does Arcad give us any examples? Like in the source material?
He does. Remember those 7 cures for a lean purse? They're like a blueprint for self-intervention, like a step-by-step guide to creating your own luck. And the first cure, start side purse to fattening.
Okay.
It's all about paying yourself first.
Okay.
Arcad recommends that you set aside at least 1/10 of your earnings before you even think about spending.
So wait, you're saying you should save before you spend?
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Not the other way around. That's pretty counterintuitive these days.
Right.
Like we're constantly bombarded with messages.
Buy. Absolutely. And yet, Arcad's point is that by prioritizing saving, you're investing in your future self, building that foundation of financial security. Think of it this way, right? Instead of waiting for a lucky windfall to come along, you are creating your own little windfalls every time you save.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all connects back to like the luck versus opportunity thing. So by saving consistently, you're creating that opportunity to like capitalize on things in the future.
Right.
It's like setting yourself up for those lucky moments to actually happen.
Exactly. And that actually leads us perfectly to the second cure.
Okay.
Control thy expenditures. Arcad really stresses the importance of understanding the difference between your needs and your wants.
Oh, okay.
He suggests you create a budget, not to like deprive yourself, but to make sure that your essential needs are met before you start indulging in those, those tempting but less essential desires.
So it's not about living a life of like austerity.
Right.
It's more about just making like conscious choices about where your money's going.
Yes, exactly. It's about being mindful about your spending and making sure your habits are aligned with your financial goals.
Okay, this is starting to feel less like a lecture on ancient Babylonian economics and more like a practical guide to like taking control of my finances.
That's a good way to put it.
I bet our listeners feeling that too.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, sticking to a budget, it can be tough, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are always unexpected expenses and like temptations lurking around every corner. So how does Arcad address that?
Well, he acknowledges that, life happens, unexpected things pop up, but he encourages us to be adaptable, resourceful. And this is where his third cure comes in.
Okay.
Make thy gold multiply. It's about putting your savings to work. He was a big believer in investing, particularly in income-generating assets.
Okay.
So things like real estate or businesses.
So it's not enough to just like save. You got to make your money work for you.
Exactly.
But investing can feel really risky, though, especially for someone just starting out.
It absolutely can be, and I don't think Arcad would ever advise, reckless gambling with your money.
No, of course not.
This is where his fourth cure comes in. Guard thy treasures from loss. He emphasizes how important it is to protect your savings from those risky ventures, and he actually advocates for seeking wise counsel from experienced people before you make any major investments.
So, like having a financial mentor, someone to bounce ideas off of.
Precisely, recognizing that you don't have to navigate the world of finance on your own.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we've got saving, budgeting, investing, seeking advice. What else does Arcad recommend for creating your own luck?
So his fifth cure, make of thy dwelling a profitable investment.
Okay.
Now this one, it might seem a little bit specific to ancient Babylon.
Right.
But it actually holds a valuable lesson for us today.
Okay.
He believed very strongly in owning your own home.
Okay.
And not just for shelter, but also as a potential source of income. Or, it might appreciate in value. Today, this could translate to like exploring ways to leverage your assets to generate financial gain.
So it's about like thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
And figuring out how to make your assets work harder for you.
Exactly.
Whether that's through, home ownership or rental properties or even like, starting a side hustle.
Yeah.
It's all about generating those additional income streams.
You got it. And that actually leads perfectly into the sixth cure.
Okay.
Ensure a future income.
Huh.
Arcad recognized, even back then, the importance of planning for the long term, especially for retirement.
Wow. So even back then, people were thinking about retirement.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was a different world, of course.
Yeah, I bet.
But he emphasized the need to secure a steady income that would continue even after you were no longer working.
Wow, that's impressive. I imagine retirement looked a lot different back in ancient Babylon, though.
It did. Back then, it might have meant making sure that, your family could continue to farm your land or run your business after you were gone. But today it could mean, contributing to a retirement fund or investing in dividend-paying stocks or even building up passive income business. But the key principle is the same.
Okay.
You've got to start early and be consistent.
Yeah, and that's so important, especially these days with life expectancy increasing. People are living longer.
Exactly.
It's not just about working hard, it's about working smart.
Absolutely.
And, planning for a future where you can actually enjoy the fruits of your labor without having to, work constantly.
That's the dream, isn't it?
Okay, so we've covered 6 cures. What's the final piece of Arcad's wisdom? What does he leave us with?
His seventh and final cure, increase thy ability to earn. And this one is all about continuous self-improvement. Arcad strongly believed that the more you learn, the more skills you acquire, the more valuable you become. And that obviously increases your earning potential.
Yeah.
So this could mean pursuing higher education or mastering a new craft or even just like committing to reading a certain number of books every year. But it's all about investing in yourself.
Right. Yeah. Investing in your future.
Exactly.
Okay. So to wrap it all up, Arcad's 7 cures, they're basically like a recipe for taking control of your financial life.
Right, got it.
It's not about waiting for that lucky break.
Yeah.
It's about proactively setting yourself up for success.
That's the key takeaway, taking ownership of your journey and recognizing that you have the power to shape your own destiny.
So what does this all mean for our listener today, Hazy? How can they apply these ancient Babylonian principles to their own lives?
Yeah.
It's like he's giving us this ancient toolkit for building wealth, and it's shockingly relevant, like even today.
It really is. What's amazing to me is how these 7 cures, they really go beyond just like the money part. It's more like a philosophy of taking charge of your life.
Yeah, totally. It's like a mindset shift, right?
Exactly.
Like instead of feeling like you're powerless against whatever fate throws at you, you're actively like shaping your future. But let's get real for a sec. Like not everyone starts at the same place.
Yeah.
Right? Some people are dealing with debt or very limited resources. Does Arcad's advice still apply?
That's a really good point. And yes, Arcad, he acknowledges that everyone's circumstances are different, but his principles, they're adaptable. Like even if you're starting with a very lean purse, the first cure, start thy purse to fattening.
Okay, yeah.
He encourages saving whatever you can, even if it's a tiny amount.
So it's about like building that muscle.
Exactly.
The saving muscle, no matter where you're at.
It's about creating that habit of setting something aside, even if it's just a few dollars a week. That act alone can make a huge difference in your mindset. It gets the ball rolling.
I love that. It's about those small, consistent actions leading to like big results over time.
And speaking of those consistent actions, Arcad's 7th cure, increase thy ability to earn.
Yes.
That one really highlights the importance of continuous learning.
It's so true. And today, with the internet, with all the resources we have available, the opportunities to learn new things, to develop new skills, I mean, it's endless.
It really is. So imagine someone listening right now who maybe feels stuck in a job they hate or they feel limited by their income. Like, what would Arcad say to that person?
You would probably encourage them to think about their passions, what really excites them, and then invest in developing some skills, some marketable skills in that area.
Okay.
So maybe that means taking a course online or learning a trade or even just committing to like reading more books in a field that interests you. The point is to never stop growing, to never stop expanding your potential.
It's like he's saying, don't wait for a better job to magically appear.
Right.
Create opportunities for yourself.
By becoming more valuable.
By becoming more valuable. That's really empowering.
It is. And I think that is the core message of this whole deep dive. Luck It's not some mystical force out there that's going to decide your financial destiny for you.
Right.
It's about preparation. It's about taking action. It's about having the willingness to create those opportunities.
So if our listener walks away from this with just one thing, one key takeaway, what should it be?
Embrace the power of self-intervention. Take control of your finances. Invest in yourself. And never, ever stop learning and growing.
And remember, those seemingly lucky breaks, they usually come to those who are prepared, ready to seize them. So build your financial foundation.
Yeah.
Sharpen your skills. Be open to opportunities, even if they come, in a way you didn't expect. Who knows? You might just create the kind of luck that leads to lasting wealth and fulfillment.
Beautifully said. All right. That wraps up our deep dive into this ancient Babylonian wisdom on luck and financial success. We hope you found it insightful, maybe even a little bit inspiring. Until next time, keep those purses fattening and those opportunities rolling in.